Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, all you Rugrats, to the podcast that is all that and a bag of chips. My name is Mike, and to my left, my right,
Here.
that's Joe Kelly. We call him Jelly. Welcome to the 90s first. Jelly, how you doing today?
Yo, I'm doing good, buddy. I have had a good day. I got off work early. I'm excited about the podcast.
Yes, me as well. Well, Jelly, you're just gonna hit us up with some housekeeping.
Yo, everyone, Patreon. It's where you can find us, where you can support us. Right now, we have 3 tiers. Maybe something coming up in the future. But to start off with, we have the Recess tier. $2 a month. Episodes early. Hang out with us. Maybe something else coming soon. We've got the Rugrats tier. Rugrats tier is $3 a month. $3 a month, you get access to the episode 2 days early. You also get a blog post done by this guy
No,
or that guy. I don't know where he's at. He do an extra blog post for our patrons only. And then at the $6 a month, we've got our Friends tier. Friends tier, you get early. You get the blog post and
video version.
no, I was just kidding. And you get the video version. You get to hang out with us while we do stupid stuff like this. And there may be something coming soon.
Yes.
More on that later. We've got our socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Find us wherever. Hang out with us wherever. Chat with us everywhere. We'll interact with you. We'll hang out with you.
Yes,
If you
please.
got questions,
Please
we have
chat.
answers.
We are on socials almost all the time. We want to chat with you guys about the 90s, bro.
2020. We got the phone in our hand. Let's be real. It's always in our hand.
Mm-hmm.
What we're using right now for the video, for the hangout, for the podcast, Discord. Thank you, Discord, for being awesome, for providing us this suite where we can talk to each other and hang out with each other
Yes.
and discuss what is our favorite decade ever, the 90s. We have, let's see, podcasts going to be on everything: Apple, Google, Spotify, Podcast Addict, you name it. We got it. If we don't, then let us know on our socials: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll get it up on there for you.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Today, should we jump into it? Introduction of what we're talking about? Mike, you
I'm
ready?
excited. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
Just doing it. Animaniacs.
Yes. Diving in.
1993. Brought to us by the great, the amazing Steven Spielberg.
What?
Spielberg brought
Spielberg.
us a kid's cartoon. It's insane. I mean, what is the show about? Absolutely nothing. It's like if Seinfeld was made for kids. They gave us the show that's insane,
Right.
has no point whatsoever, and yet every episode takes us on an adventure of absolute insanity and crazy and laughs and fun.
Mania. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so much fun. I loved it. I love it still. I've been rewatching, and it has been amazing. Yo, can you hit me up with some info about how you feel on the show? What do you think?
This show is super fun. I love this show. Just I didn't. Are we going into nostalgia lane here?
Bro, we can roll right into it.
Okay, it's up to you, man.
I like it. I
All right.
want first take on the show.
First take.
Let's do a quick first take
It
on.
is better than when I was a kid. I think I was into different things when I was a kid. So, but now watching it as an adult, I think I appreciate it a little more than I did when I was growing up. So that's my first take.
Agree.
First episode was a lot of fun. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yo, can I hit you with a quick fact?
Sure. Fact.
The show when it first aired was actually hitting an older audience, and they didn't like it. So older kids thought it was funnier, and they thought it was geared towards them, but they couldn't sell any merch, so they had to actually make it more immature. kind of take all those adult subtle nuances out of it and gear it more towards kids.
Well,
And I learned that, and I can see why. There are some things in this show that are rather adult, and as an adult, they're hilarious.
hello, nurse.
Yes, exactly. The what?
uh,
She totally was not an object in that
no,
at
not
all.
at all. She was just a nurse.
Yeah, just a nurse
Just a
working with
nurse.
Doctor Scratch and Sniff. Uh,
Oh, the names.
let's see. We covered release 1993.
Hmm.
Uh, little heads up for everyone listening. 2020 has another release for Animaniacs, so get ready.
What? There's a new show
Yes,
coming?
yes, sir. With the
No
original
way.
cast members.
No, you got to be kidding me.
So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I was just looking at it. September 2020 is when it's slotted. We'll see what
Oh,
happens, but
yeah, we'll see.
so yeah,
That sounds
original
fun
release
though.
1993. Upcoming release will be 2020. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
in terms of the show, covered it. It's really about nothing and everything.
It's
It's
really
awesome.
about nothing and everything.
Let's. I mean, it isn't. I mean, that's the most accurate description I can think of.
Hmm.
It's about nothing, but they cover so much good stuff
Yeah,
in the first episode alone. They kind of touch on all this crazy random
I
things,
agree.
and you're like, whoa. So
Whoa.
let's slide into nostalgia lane, and I'm gonna let you take it from the top because I'm adjusting my notes. So yeah, nostalgia lane. Mike hit us with some memories of the show, favorite
So
episodes, characters.
I don't really have any favorite episodes. I'll be honest. It's because I didn't watch this show consistently. I was more of a Looney Tunes fan, so I kind of like stuck to that side of WB animation. You know, just kind of stuck to my Bugs Bunny as my Porky
Oh yeah,
Pig, who's in this episode,
guest
the
appearance.
guest
What?
appearance, right? Stuck to my Foghorn Leghorn and all those guys. So, like the Animaniacs was
Are we
just
allowed to talk about him?
whatever. Um, so the Animaniacs, I didn't really grow up watching them, to be honest. I do remember watching, some episodes of my dad here and there, but to be honest, I didn't really watch it growing up. So just kind of it's because like I didn't really like the style growing up. Um
I get it.
and
It it's got to hit the right spot, and if
yeah, yeah.
and depending on how old you are when you first watch it and stuff like that, it's gonna
Yeah.
miss.
And
If
I'm
you're
like I'm uh I'm tempted more so now to watch more of it because after we'll talk about this later, but after watching the first episode, I think I appreciate it more as an adult. I think I like it more. Uh, rewatching it, but it's still a great show. Fantastic casting, fantastic voice acting. Sure, we'll get into that a little bit deeper in the first episode, but that's
oh yeah,
pretty much my nostalgia lane. I really didn't watch this growing up because I was more of a Looney Tunes kid. So,
understandable. To be fair, I didn't even know that Looney Tunes and this were connected until the Porky Pig thing that I rewatched. For some reason, I assumed that Looney Tunes wasn't a WB
hmm,
thing. It is. Whoa.
yeah,
Daffy Duck is also in this episode. If
yeah,
you pay attention,
yep. He's got a picture
he's
frame. Mm.
yeah, he's got a poster in the background. But for me, I was probably 7 or 8 when I started watching it, and the characters that stood out the most to me were Pinky and the Brain. I loved
Hmm.
Pinky and the Brain, which we only get a little of in this episode, but like those two, for some reason, I just thought it was so funny. This just dumb lab rat and then this ultra smart lab rat trying to take over the world
Yeah.
every episode in a different way. I just thought was so funny,
Yep.
and I loved that the antics that they would get up to together. And I'm like, for me, Pinky and the Brain, clear winner on it.
Did you stick with Pinky and the Brain because they got their own spin-off
I
show?
I did, yeah.
You
I
did.
watched a
Okay.
lot of Pinky and the Brain. Yeah, 95. What? I
Yeah.
was looking at that.
Hmm.
But yeah, Pinky and the Brain, and then this show, Animaniacs, is the only reason that I learned all of the presidents and the states and their capitals
Right.
and the countries of the
And the
world, which I
countries.
don't remember those ones. But yeah, I mean, this show taught me the song, and the song helped me remember, and I used it in school to pass tests. I would sit there and sing it in my head. I
Nice.
still know part of it.
Dude, that's awesome. That is so cool, actually.
So yeah, it's
uh,
like I haven't watched the President song in forever. And I still know that George Washington was the first you see. He once chopped down a cherry tree. President number 2 would be John Adams, and then number 3. You know,
I
just
don't know any of that stuff because I didn't watch it.
yeah, and I have the Animaniacs to think, a kids cartoon brought to us by
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg. You know, it's crazy. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe that they were able to combine insanity, crazy, with educational stuff all in the same episode. You're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
it's utterly ridiculous,
Yeah.
and also you learn things.
And also,
The first episode, jumping into let's see, actually let's do a quick break, right? Because my phone's gonna die. I've got to adjust it.
oh, okay. So like
So,
literal break.
yep,
Okay,
we're
if
good.
we could just not talk for a while. Okay. Just that several seconds I'll look at the wavelengths in the yeah, I'll look at the audio waves and know that
They'd be
that's where I
like,
need a break.
ah, perfect.
Yeah. So,
All right, awesome. Um, yo, all that chat, jumping in. You
yeah,
ready?
let's do it.
All right, guys, time to jump into.
we should totally do an uncut version for patrons.
Please, yeah, please leave the uncut video footage in for them because they could just laugh how stupid I am. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Do you want to do
I
that?
mean,
That sounds cool.
how
That
awesome
sounds
I
fun.
am. They could watch the dumb things that I do behind the scenes that they don't get to hear on the podcast.
Yeah, right.
Yes. All right. That's me getting into character. Could you tell?
Yeah, right.
Ah, yes, I'm a theater kid. Uh, dang it. Screen turned off again. All right. Okay, everybody, let's jump into all that chat where we're going to deep dive into the first episode, the nitty gritty, everything about it. And we're going to talk about Yakko, Wacko, and their crazy sister Dot. Mike, you want me to take it? Or would you like to,
No, yeah, it's all you, man. But
bro, sick, because I got notes.
you got notes.
I love notes. I love taking notes about the shows that we watch because it helps me remember because my brain is
Mm-hmm.
doo doo. So, Animaniacs starts off with Newsreel of the Stars intro, which is all black and white and grainy, and I loved it. And I love
Yeah,
it. It gives you that classic hit of like 1930s. I think is when it takes place, 1930, 39.
yeah.
And it gives you that feel of the old timey newsroom and what was going on and the
Mm-hmm.
hustle and bustle of it. And then they introduced the characters they made, who were the Warner Brothers and their sister Dot, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Uh, and then they give you this little glimpse of how absolutely insane they were, and they wreak havoc on everything.
Yep.
And they make all these crazy, terrible videos, and no one ever gets to see the videos. They lock all the videos away, and then they lock the Warners in the water tower
Yeah,
because
that's
cruel and unusual punishment is
because
the thing.
that's where you lock people up.
So they lock them away for decades until 1993. I'm pretty sure this show takes place in the time that it came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and they break loose somehow. You know, they were just dormant for all those years, and then they all of a sudden break loose.
Right.
And
It's when they wanted to write the show. You know, that's when they decided
it's
to break loose. Yeah.
weird how that worked out.
Yeah. So is the Warner Brother is it the Warner Brothers Wacko or Yakko Wacko and Dot, are they writing this show?
I have
Huh?
no idea.
Huh?
I've
Because
got no
I
idea.
mean, this stuff is good, but it's bad. Also, it's not that good.
My guess is they have to be the ones behind it
Yeah,
because the
exactly.
antics they get up to, they're definitely the authors of that.
Right.
Let's see. Right at the beginning, we get the song, the classic song, which we would
Hmm.
totally insert right here. Pause, break. The song you remember, it's in your head now.
But
Uh,
because copyright,
copyright issues. But
it's
one of the
time
lines,
for Animaniacs. You could sing it.
can you?
Yeah.
I can't. I've got a terrible voice.
Well.
But one of the lines in it is a perfect representation of what the show is. And they say, "We break loose and then vamoose, and now you know the plot." That's a
Yes,
line in their intro song, and it's absolutely true to the song itself, or
exactly.
to the show itself.
There is literally no rhyme or reason to the episodes in this show.
No. Let's see. Let's cover first episode. It's
Mhm.
not just one show you're getting. They're broken up into three parts, and I've noticed that with as I continue to watch with every episode, you get three parts per episode, two or three parts. A couple of them had two, but they break each one into like little mini segments. So I think it was to retain kind of audience attention,
Yeah.
especially for younger kids. You need lights and color and flashy and movement and songs, and I think they did a good job with that.
Hmm.
I think they did a really good job breaking up into smaller segments, giving us a lot of story and a little bit of time. With the first episode specifically, we got Doctor Scratch and Sniff introduction, we got the Warner Brothers introduction, and we got a bunch of different characters introduction all in that first little mini episode
Hmm.
or segment of the show. Uh, they had a guest appearance by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that one.
I did catch that one.
Who had a dream about being president one day. So weird. Yes, the oh, that's where we get to meet Miss Hello Nurse. And I don't know if you noticed, but they totally turned into dogs right after that as they were
Yeah,
looking at her.
yeah. As she passes them, they just turn into dogs.
A literal representation of a metaphor.
Yes.
Learning things, education right
Yep.
there.
As an adult, you see those
As
things.
as an adult, yes, I gotta look back and learn more from this show
Right.
than I did when I was young and watching it.
Hmm.
Uh, there were so many references to little things. A lot of movies that Warner Brothers had put out. Some of the other characters do a jump into some characters. The birds are called the Good Feathers,
The good feathers. Yep.
based off of the Goodfellas
Yep.
movie.
Exactly.
And each one represents a different member of the Goodfellas. We
Hmm.
have we've got oh, I just lost my spot. There's the God Pigeon based off the Godfather.
Yep.
Uh oh, other yo. Can we do a quick fun fact?
Sure. Yeah. Do whatever.
Uh the the intro song, that catchy intro song, used to have a moment in it where it says, and Bill Clinton plays the sax, and he was part of the intro. And then he had a thing come up in his life, and they removed that.
Probably a
And I
good
thought that was
call.
hilarious after the fact as an adult. I'm like, oh man. Uh, we've got lessons learned in the first episode. The Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
Yes, my favorite
When
character.
when they have their couch time
Yes.
with Dr. Scratch and Sniff, uh, the amount of literal humor, like
Hilarious. Oh my goodness. That's the best part about this episode. I was gonna say is that the Animaniacs, those three, just take everything literally, and it's just absolutely brilliant. It is so funny. It's hilarious. He's
It's
like,
so good.
when Wacko's doing it, and like you hear the Ringo Starr impression, basically, that's just his voice. But he's like, he's like, tell me how you feel. My nose. And it's like, no,
Oh, that is what
no,
you are
that
touching.
is what you are touching. How do you feel? It's just perfect. Like,
I feel fine.
oh, I
Ah,
feel
good.
fine. Um,
Can you expand on that?
so yeah, just if you've never seen the episode, listeners, like the Animaniacs are just so literal. It's insane. Like Dr. Scratch in that very first segment of the first episode, he says, "Go plant yourself on the couch over there," and they literally go to the couch and they animate themselves into plants, into flowers, literally planting themselves.
They literally plant.
Yeah, it's just the you don't you don't catch up on that as a kid, and you don't understand like the true pun nature to the whole series.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely
I mean,
not.
it's
Yeah,
just
there's
so
so
good.
much that goes on. There's so much
Hmm.
behind the scenes that's like that as an adult, like
Hmm.
I'm watching and going, "Oh my god, this is hilarious." Like this is so funny. How did my parents not love this show
Yeah,
more?
right. Mhm.
It's just so good. Um, Switching back into my other ones, yo, can we talk about some of the little things that I noticed?
Sure. Yeah.
Scrolls. Um, oh, I lost it. Yo, okay. So Brain. I wanted to bring this up. We talked about it a little bit before the podcast. Brain, one of the two mouses that we meet.
Yep.
Sorry, rats, mouse. No, they
Rat.
were a mouse. He's very specific about that. Uh,
I
so
am not a
Brain,
rat.
yes, his voice actor was the same guy who does Victor Freeze in the Arkham games, which I know you enjoyed.
In the Arkham games?
The
Really?
Arkham games,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that is
So the
cool.
same voice actor, and he was also in an episode of Boy Meets World, which we covered last week
Oh, nice.
on the podcast. He was an announcer and narrator in season 4, which
Hmm.
is in episode 1, so we didn't cover it, but he was in there. And he's been in so many things. But
Yeah.
his voice was so iconic. Like I heard it and I had to look it up because I was like, this is the voice I've heard a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Hmm.
he has like 400 credits. He's been
Man,
in everything, and I'm like,
he's insane.
of course, I recognize the voice.
He's big brain. Yeah.
The end of the episode, you mentioned it. You want to tell everyone about it? Our narrator for our good night story.
Yeah. So, when you watch the first episode, if you're catching up with us, watch the first episode. It has like three parts to it. The first part was just kind of a introduction to who the Animaniacs were, called Desanitized. And then the middle section was a song, which we'll get to that in a little bit because I do want to talk about it. And then
Yes.
finally, the third section was Nighty Night Tune, and it was a play off the book Night Night Moon. Um, it's a kid's book I read to my kid all the time, and Winnie the Pooh is narrating the book for us, and it's just kind of a I was watching the episode and heard the narrator start reading the book, doing the scene, and I'm like, that's Winnie the Pooh. But then I thought, Winnie the Pooh's Disney. And then I thought, how did Warner Brothers get Winnie the Pooh to do Winnie the Pooh for a Warner Brothers show that is not Disney? And then I thought, that's cool.
It is so cool. Yeah, I did the
It
same thing.
was
I was like,
really fun.
I thought Winnie the Pooh was a Disney product. It wasn't originally a Disney product. The first Winnie the Pooh wasn't Disney. They acquired the rights to it
Wow. Okay.
later on the line. Yeah,
Okay.
the oh gosh, 73 I think is Winnie the Pooh.
Hmm.
But yeah, that one is I'm not gonna think of it. Like Miramax or something like that, or no, it's a small one. It's small. It's I say
MGM,
small,
MGM maybe. Who knows?
maybe. But
But yeah, the last episode was really the last part of this episode was really fun because of that. Not only because of that, but it was just a fun story too to see each of the characters highlighted. That's probably one of the better parts of this first episode is that kind of gets you to see every single character that they're going to be showing the rest of the series. Um,
yeah, I
and
agree.
yeah, that's
It was such
especially
a good.
apparent in that last portion.
Yeah, it was such a good introduction for all the characters.
Hmm.
They kind of kind of give you a one by one, like as they were introducing everyone that they had kind of shown throughout the episode, but they give you a this is this person. They give you a name for almost all of
Hmm.
them, and then like a little tidbit about them.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it was really cool for them to do that. I think one because they showed you and gave you them throughout the episode, and then they kind of gave you that extra little bit at the end, so you'd remember, you retain who they were
Yeah. Hmm.
into the next episode.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
But you mentioned the song.
Yes.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
That's a Grease song.
Yes, it is.
um. Anyway, so the middle portion of the episode had the monkey song. And the monkey song I have been singing it all day because I rewatched the first episode today before recording, and
Yes,
I've
it's
just
been
been
stuck in
singing.
my head.
I don't know what to say, the monkeys won't do. Don't know what to say, the monkeys won't do. It's just oh the song is
So
just
catchy.
it's so catchy. It's hilarious when you watch it. Um and what's really cool, and I expect this, and I'm pretty sure you can just verify that, but I love the first episode showing the relationship between the Animaniacs and Dr. Scratch and Sniff, just because you see it in different cartoons all the time. Well, you got Bugs Bunny and you got Elmer Fudd. Like you have the antics, and then you have the person who's trying to be sane.
Yes, you get
And
what do they call those? Like the lead characters, and then their conflict.
yeah,
The you get
exactly.
the and
Exactly.
yeah,
So you got the Animaniacs up against Doctor Scratch and stuff. Who Doctor Scratch and stuff is just like he's just trying to be a good old psychiatrist. Like he's just like he's just trying to do
yeah.
his job. You know, he's like I
And
I
these guys are
I
making
I
it
know how to do it.
difficult.
And then the Animaniacs just come out of nowhere and just ruin this guy's day. And that's apparent in this song. The song in the middle portion of the first episode, the monkey song. This guy's just
It's a
literally just
long song.
it's hilarious the whole time. But this guy is just trying to go about his day and just like he's trying to take a shower and the Animaniacs show up in the bathroom. It's like, come on, dudes.
You shave your head with toothpaste.
Hmm. But it's also funny to see. It's also funny to see even in the Animaniacs that you have this like a little bit more grounded maniac and Dot versus her brothers, because you see
Yeah,
her
yeah.
you see Dot have her moments of like, oh my goodness, these kids, like talking about her brothers.
Boys.
These boys are acting like kids. It's like it's just a fun show overall. It's a show that I don't think you need to be intently watching to enjoy.
Absolutely not. It's one that you could definitely turn on in the background, pay
Right.
attention for a few minutes, and
Hmm.
like get something out of it in those few minutes that you're watching, and then walk away and not think about it for a week or more,
Or
and then come back to it and be like, and just be like, oh yeah, this
yeah.
is hilarious. This is
Hmm.
so good.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I agree. That middle song had to be like 3 or 4 minutes,
Oh
and they
yeah.
just keep going
Hmm.
around and around and around. You get to see
Hmm.
all these hilarious antics between the
Yeah.
Warners and Scratch and Sniff and
Hmm.
the hippos, the pigeons,
Yeah.
the dog, the Mindy Buttons. You kind of get everyone in that one too, which I thought was awesome and fun to
Yeah.
kind of include the whole cast of
Mm-hmm.
characters. Uh the the probably my favorite part of the episode would be that uh that transition of Scratch and Sniff from kind of sane person, which is in the very beginning. You get the sane psychiatrist doctor
Yeah.
who's trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly throughout this episode, just one episode, he goes from sane person to totally off his rocker,
Bald,
crazy.
ripping
Just,
his hair out.
yeah, just from trying to help three people
Right? Yeah.
who don't want the help.
Who don't want the help. They're just, you know, well, and that's the point of them, right? They are animation living in the real world, and like
Yep.
just like the commentary, or sorry, scratch that word. The thought behind that is that, the real world just can't handle cartoons. Like cartoons are supposed to be maniacs. you know
Yeah. They're
I
not
mean
supposed to fit into
I
normal
mean
life.
you mean to tell me that when you watch Bugs Bunny, you think he's sane too? He's not. He's a bunny who talks, eats carrots, says, "What's up, Doc?" But at the same time, he also dresses up as a girl, sings opera, plays baseball every single spot, every single position on the field. He's insane as well. And it's just really cool in Animaniacs, just seeing that seeing really the story of how humans would relate to cartoons.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
that relationship between reality and
Hmm.
uh, and animation,
Right.
and it doesn't work,
Hmm.
but at the same time, it does.
Yeah.
As a cartoon,
Hmm.
as entertainment, it totally works. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so fun to watch, and I think that's what it all is. I think the whole episode is just that: is the
Hmm.
relationship of animation of these caricatures
Hmm.
uh trying to live in reality,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mix.
No. My favorite part of like the first portion of the episode, the desanitize, whatever. Um,
Yes.
I think one of my favorite things is that WB decided when making this to not care about making fun of themselves. Because
Yes.
like you see, even at the very start, you see the picture frames of like the different people that Dr. Scratch and Sniff has been their patients, right? And you see
Yeah.
you see Batman at the end just sitting there,
I, s-
but he's like
I
just like a
saw that.
chubby cheek Batman. He's like he's and it's just funny to see that they make fun of themselves. Like even the WB, what's the word? The WB, like the boss or whatever, brings Dr. Scratch and Sniff into his office, and he's like,
Yeah, the board president.
yeah, the board. He's like, WB hasn't been this crazy since we made Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah.
Like, just making fun of themselves. I think that's the whole satire of Animaniacs brought satire to kids, and like this the only satire animation that you truly saw back then was probably like The Simpsons, and that was definitely made for adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Simpsons 100% geared towards adults. My parents didn't let me watch it for a long time.
No.
But Animaniacs they didn't have a problem with.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think it shows that the WB was willing to take that risk, and I
Hmm.
think it was a pretty big risk, and I think it paid off well. I think to be able to use yourself as the butt of a lot of jokes
Yeah.
and to make yourself look bad to look good.
Right.
I think it worked really well for them. I think
Hmm.
they did a good job. I think it was worth the risk, and I don't think it would have been possible if they didn't have the team behind the show that they did.
Yeah.
With the producer being someone as big as Spielberg is, who has taken many risks in his career before this. I mean, I'm not even gonna mention all of his movies. Like it's not needed,
No,
but like,
no. We would be here for hours if we're writing down the credentials of Steven Spielberg.
but like, this is a man who knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
and he was able to convince the Warner Brothers to the studio to
Hmm.
to be able to look at themselves through a comedic lens
Yeah.
and not as a just this big corporation that makes good things.
Exactly.
Uh,
I don't know. I think that this has to be like just this first episode alone has to be one of my favorite Spielberg things. Like I think it's really cool when you see directors that are huge in the movie space take chances in TV. And I mean
Absolutely.
to have a whole part of an episode, a whole 3 5 minutes, just a song. Like I think that's super risky, and it was super fun. I actually really enjoyed this episode, and just even looking at the episode rankings on IMDb here, episode 1 of season 1 has 8.5 stars out of 10.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's doing
I did not know
good.
that.
It's doing good for itself, you know?
Yeah, I know that one of the things that I was looking into for is Spielberg wanted to give every single episode its own musical, like unique musical score,
Yeah.
and I think that probably played into giving them the songs and giving them the
Yeah.
special music
Mhm.
and the things that they're doing.
Mhm.
Uh, but that's crazy. I mean, I'm not one to look at ratings, but that's insane.
Yeah.
That's super good.
It's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, I mean, this is just a good show. I think it was a good pick, Jelly. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oddly enough, I agree.
Oh, you agree? Do you have anything else?
uh,
Do you have anything
yo,
else on that thing?
I mean, little details about it. The Spielberg got creative control over it. I think that's why it ended up so
Mm-hmm.
good. Part of the deal that he made with them was I get final say on everything,
Yeah.
and the only thing that he didn't choose was Mindy and Buttons. I think were both picked by his daughter. You know, which I think is cool. I mean, he still had final say on them, but he let his daughter pick characters in his show,
That's
so she had
hilarious.
something that she can look back on and be like, yeah, those were my characters based off of, I don't know if they were based off of her, but I'm assuming that she had some sort
Mm-hmm.
of relationship to them as being a representation of her. And I don't know if she had a dog, but if she did, that's probably it.
I like this.
um,
I like this trivia here. During the theme song, the characters proudly announce that we have pay or play contracts. This is a Hollywood term meaning the performer is paid whether or not he or she plays. This was a big deal in the days of contract studio players.
and they were getting money even if they weren't going on,
Yeah, it was. That's
which is
really
good for
funny.
them because they wouldn't have paid them if they didn't have to.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of neat little things, and I really enjoy that there are these little nuances to the show.
Hmm.
I think that's a fun thing for me, especially as an adult. I mean, you don't really care when you're young, when you're a kid watching these things. It doesn't mean anything to you to be like, oh, Spielberg made this cartoon. Well, when you're 5 years old, 10 years old, Spielberg literally means nothing to you. I mean,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Spielberg is
Exactly.
sure, yeah, he has
I
Jaws,
was
but
like,
what is that?
but like, let's see here. Let's see. I mean, yes, he had Jaws, but what did he have before the Animaniacs? And us kids were just stupid and didn't know,
Yeah, absolutely ignorant to the fact that he
uh,
had probably what 30 great movies.
right? So let's see here. I'm looking at a little a little one called E.T. Um,
Oh, that movie?
yeah, yeah. Poltergeist. He had Gremlins before Animaniacs. He was an executive producer on The Goonies, favorite movie of all time.
Um, all the Indiana Jones.
Back to the Future. Um, let's see, The Color Purple. He was a producer. Um,
What
yeah, just
what year was Jurassic Park? Was that 93 as well?
so I'm just looking at produced, because he directed. Jurassic Park was 93. Mm-hmm. Yep. So he
Technically not
directed
before.
Schindler's List. You know, his credentials you don't have to speak about, guys. But you're right. You're right, Jelly. As a kid, you just having Steven Spielberg produced on the top of the Animaniacs logo there in the theme song, you just don't really care about it as a kid. But now you're like, oh man, this huge Hollywood director stepped down to produce a cartoon show, and it's actually
Yeah.
amazing. That's really cool.
And it's amazing. That's the kicker. And it's amazing.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they fall flat. I've known one other great movie director producer to do a good show, and that was the the troll one on Netflix. What is that one called? But it's Guillermo del Toro,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. The show's Troll Hunter. There we go, and it's
Okay.
it's so good. It's just done. It's done
Mm-hmm.
so well. And I think when you get an amazing producer, director working on a show and they get creative input and they get to make the decisions, uh, you get to see what can happen.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's obvious in Animaniacs, a show geared towards children, but way better for older children or
Yeah.
adults. You get this package that gives you everything and and delivers it in a way that entertains you the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it.
Uh,
I liked it. Liked it a lot.
yeah, I'm still watching it. I kept watching it. I
I
enjoyed it.
think I think I'm
I'm
gonna watch a couple more episodes after
my
this
uh
for sure.
my 7-year-old is really enjoying it.
That's good.
So I can't argue with it, right? If I
Yep.
can enjoy it probably more than him and he enjoys it, I got a reason to keep watching it.
Yeah. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo, wrap it up.
Sure. Yeah.
What have you been up to, dude?
What have I been up to? Oh man.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the dish?
I've actually still been watching Boy Meets World a little bit off and on. I
Ooh, where
just
you
love
at?
I love that show. I think I'm close to the end of season one.
All right, all
Um,
right. I
but
picked
yeah,
it up a little bit.
you
Been
did.
wa- been watching a couple episodes. Yeah, my son
Yeah.
likes that one too, which is nice. It's
Yeah.
it's fun that he enjoys a wholesome family show as well
Yeah.
as insanity.
So I'm currently on the episode first season where Sean's a fugitive. Um, and he blows up a mailbox. he's like, he's like,
What a rascal.
he's like, oh, mailbox puffed up like a balloon. It was great. It's just so good. Um, but
All about the delivery.
right, yeah. And let's see. Other than that, been playing video games.
Yo, which
Yeah,
ones? Where can we find you?
Apex, Warzone. You could find me on Twitch. I do play. I do stream. I hit.
Right.
I've been streaming for a year, and I did my year celebration, and that celebration was off the rocker, dude. It was just absolutely insane. But
Yo, it was a good time.
thanks part to you, and just just hanging out, chilling. But yeah, I'm gonna be. I really do want to focus on some single player games here soon, so I think I'm gonna start Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then
Okay. Going a
yeah,
little darker route.
yeah, kind of.
Some zombie action.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Um,
infected.
yeah. These are real people we're talking about.
This is a virus released by the Umbrella Corps.
Yes.
They're not zombies.
But yeah, gonna be. I think I want to start that. I also have an itch to like actually try to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey and finish that. But that
All
that
right.
game that game is huge. So
Is it?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
I've only played like one Assassin's Creed,
mm.
so I'm probably missing out. But the one that I played was fun.
Which one did you play?
I played Assassin's Creed 3, I believe.
That's like one of the worst ones too.
Oof. Whichever one they released the online play for, where you had to like stealthily like stalk people and like blend into the crowd and then like sneak up behind them
Oh,
and
that's
get other
that's
people.
Brotherhood. So you played one of the best ones.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the one I
Yep.
played, and it was good.
So
I played the story in
Assassin's
that one
Creed
too.
3 proper is the one in the Revolutionary War with like George
Proper.
Washington. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't do that one.
Okay. So you played the third one released, but it was just called Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It was like a spin-off of Assassin's Creed 2. And then
Okay.
yeah, and then Assassin's Creed 3 didn't come until Assassin's Creed 3 is
Confusing.
technically the fifth game of the series.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay. See, I played the third one that came out, and that's what I meant by
Okay.
three because I didn't realize that they don't know how to name their games.
No, they don't. Anyway.
They should work on that. They need
Yeah.
to be better than Xbox. They're taking the
Anyway,
Xbox route.
that is what I've been up to. How about you, Farron?
Yo, that's legit. I'm excited to watch you more on stream and see some gameplay of that Resident Evil 2 because I played the original one and it wasn't that great.
Oh, I'm probably not going to be playing that on stream.
What? Understandable. It's not
it's not
exactly family
exactly
friendly.
family friendly.
No, is it just
It's
use
like
a mod and make it be colorful when you get them. Yo, I have been working. I work a lot. I've been working a weird schedule, and that's been interesting to get used to. I'm still not used to it, but I've been working Thursday through Monday, so still 5 days a week, still 8 hours a day. But I can't remember what day of the week it is ever.
it's Sunday.
Uh, it's Sunday today while we're recording. Uh, I won't be able to tell you what day it is tomorrow though when I wake up. I will be confused because it'll be my Friday, and that just doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Other than that, let's see. I've been playing video games. Been playing Apex Season 5. Got to get that rank up. Got to get that level up. Got to finish this battle pass. So
Let's go.
I've been hitting that as hard as I can. The new schedule though does not allow me a lot of time to play, which is a real big bummer. So I've been playing that. I've been watching a little bit of Boy Meets World. Been watching a lot more Animaniacs, surprisingly. And then I don't watch YouTube, but sometimes when I do, I watch that. I might have a slight YouTube addiction. There's too many things on there that are
Did you just say
entertaining.
you don't watch YouTube?
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
No.
People the listening, don't watch YouTube. It's a time suck. Uh, you will disappear into a
Those
portal.
listening, one of these days we'll share a screenshot of Jelly's time on YouTube on his Nintendo Switch alone.
Absolutely not. It is definitely not like 12 hours a day. How could you say that?
No,
Uh,
not at all. Not even close.
let's see. I've been hanging out with the family. A lot of family time. It's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. I got two kids for those just tuning in. The wifey, we've been spending time together because it's still quarantine, even though our county here in California is eased up a bit. Uh, we're still
Yeah.
not going out. And it's nice to stay in with the family. It's been
Hmm.
fun getting used to being around each other because I mean, married life, you don't really get a lot of time when you're both working opposite schedules and you got two kids and you're always doing things. So that's been really fun. We've been
Exactly.
watching a lot more movies together. We are suckers for the B-list sci-fi movies. So, yo, judge me all you want. I love
J-
those things.
I'm judging.
The
are we
paranormal ones,
are we
the
talking about
alien
like
ones.
Sharknado and stuff like that?
I mean, usually not that bad. Not that specific movie, but
Oh, okay.
along those lines. I mean,
Gotcha.
definitely the sci-fi channel movies, big
Yeah.
fans of those.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
So yeah, watching those with the wife because she really enjoys them. Watching Boy Meets World and Animaniacs with my son, hanging out with my daughter who's younger, letting her play on me like a jungle gym. She just smashed me in the face earlier today, so that was fun.
Yo, I got headbutted the other day by Caleb, and this tooth right here cut my lip. It was so bad. Like,
Yo,
if you watch the video version, you probably noticed that I've done licking because like I'm licking the wound because it like hurts to talk.
oh, bro, there's okay, quick segment, and we can totally cut this, but there's this comedian who became a dad, and he's all, I never thought I would have to thank my kid for putting a pillow over my face before they jumped on it, but it happened. My daughter jumps on my face, and I said, "Why did you do that? That hurt." So then she puts a pillow over my face, and I think she's trying to be nice, and then she jumps on his face again, and he had
That's
to
a
thank her for putting a pillow down.
well, thanks
Uh,
for putting something soft between your bony butt and my
exactly.
face.
Oh, I can relate way too much to that. But yeah, lots of family time, lots of hanging out, lots of kicking
Yeah,
it. And yeah, and living life and learning what the new normal is, which is fun.
yeah. hmm You got anything else, man?
Bro, I don't think I do.
All right.
Definitely, I'm ready to get some sleep because I'm gonna get up early, dude, for work.
Oh man, I'm just
5
waking up
a.m., bro.
early anyway.
What?
uh, anyway,
If it's a choice.
yeah. Well, no, I don't choose. It's the kids. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening to this edition of the 90s First on Animaniacs. Please go watch that episode so that you can continue a conversation with us on our socials. We are on Facebook at the 90s First. We are on Instagram at the 90s First _ podcast, and we are on Twitter at the 90s First. Please go follow the socials, continue the conversation with us there, and also interact with our posts as we continue to post and let you all know what is coming up. Once again, patreon.com/the 90s First podcast if you would like to support us financially. My name is Mike. That is Jelly.
What up? And we'll see you later.
And
Over
we'll
here.
talk to you later. He's over there. All right. Bye, everybody.